So this is my recommendation for an app. It is called Boom Writer. It is a collaborative writing tool that allows your students to write a book. I'm going to log in and just kind of give you the tour of my account here. I have been using this in my class for the last about 10 days. We just completed our first um, chapter writing. So what you do is you go through here and there is, so story writer is what we're using. You pick if you want to create a new book, you go to new book, you read through there's sample first chapters and you can choose any chapter you want. I chose The Doodle Lives because we kind of like that fantasy in my classroom. I thought it would be an entertaining way. You could do anything you want. Let's choose Why Nerds Don't Make House Calls. I have not read this one. So lets you read through and go, yep, I like this. You select it. What it then becomes is your first chapter of your book. And you can do an open book, which means anyone who has an account on Boomwriter can join your sort of, I guess it's a contest, or you can do a group book. Group book has a lot more flexibility for changing deadlines and extending or shortening and changing the amount of the maximum word count for each chapter. So I like the group book, and lets me invite my students, or I could invite just a group of my students to work together. You can do maximum word count on here. I chose 400 for my first, and my students logged in and groaned and moaned and complained, oh my gosh, there's no way we can write 400 words, it's too many, it's too many. I left it at 400 and about 30 minutes later had students bargaining for more words. Miss Jen, I need more words, I need more words, my story's not told yet. I ended up increasing the word count to 700. I found out later that was probably not a good idea because during the voting process, each of the students is required to read 4 entries, and 700 words was just a little too much for some of my students. So in a short period of time, we're going to leave it at 500 for this. You can add authors. So I chose my students, which there are 26 of them, and I'm going to select them all. I don't know if it lets me, I don't think it lets me select them all. So I have to select them all. I'm going to add these 3 authors to this. And then I can do competitions, which is what the chapters. So I'm going to do 4 chapters on this. So it counts the one you choose. So it's going to be 3 weeks in duration. There's going to be 1 chapter already existing. And then the writing days, I'm going to give them 5 days to do their writing. That doesn't seem like much, but it actually goes quite quick. And then you can add your guidance notes here, so if there's questions that you want to ask or there's guidance you want to provide them. And then I'm going to save but don't start because I don't want to start this. So now we have our book competition. So what's going to happen is each of my kids are going to have, when they log in, they're going to see that they have a new book once I start the competition. And we're going to read the first chapter together as a class. Then we will brainstorm ideas for chapter 2, come up with sort of a main idea for chapter 2 so they have something to go on, and so that they're all kind of writing something that is kind of, that sort of general idea. A way to guide the book, I guess, as you say. So let's look back at my first book project because this is what's really cool. So this is the entry that won. I had given this student two opportunities to do feedback for me, and he did, but he didn't quite finish the editing by the deadline. So now it gives me the chance to go back and give actually help him make some changes and give him more feedback and let him tidy it up before it becomes our chapter 2. Once I've accepted this, we will go on and we'll read chapter 1 again, we'll read chapter 2 again, we'll brainstorm ideas for chapter 3, and then everyone will write their chapter 3 based on where our story has gone so far. This writing project that we're doing has been so beneficial to my kids. My most struggling readers and writers have sat down and they've written 400 or 500 words in just a few, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And I went through just to kind of gauge where that was for them and pulled out a handful of writing examples from my class and figured out on an average how many words a 5th grader puts on a standard piece of wide ruled notebook paper. It's about 85 to 100 words depending on the writing. So you figure 400 words is 4 full pages of notebook paper. I don't know how many 10-year-olds you know, but that is a lot of writing, and it's near impossible to get them to write more than a paragraph. I've also been able to have little one-on-one conferences with them when they've submitted their thing for feedback. I've looked through their chapter and gone, okay, they're obviously struggling with how to format dialogue. They're obviously struggling with punctuation or capitalization. Or maybe they need that 21st century skill of how to right click on a word that's spelled wrong and find the samples of, possible correct spellings for it. So I'm able to teach them not only the mechanics of writing, but how to use their computer more efficiently to help them with some of these things they're struggling with. It has become such an awesome tool. I've got some kids that are writing it in a Google Doc, so they're able to, run the spell check and all that on there, and then they're pasting it into there or into the Boom Writer website. And it's just, it's become so much more than I thought. I have kids going home at night and writing, and it's not assigned, it's not a graded thing, it's just something that we're doing for fun. I also have found a teacher in Maine who publishes a lot of books, so we are going to do a collaborative book in December with them. We're going to Skype in and do all the brainstorming as a group with her fifth grade class and my fifth grade class, so we're able to connect and have that learning community that we wouldn't normally have either. I am super excited. I hope everybody who sees this tries it out.